Favoritism in the workplace is a practice involving giving unfair preferential treatment to one person or group at the expense of another. It can involve protecting fellow workers, often from shared or similar backgrounds like previous employers, cultures, families, tenure, through the rejection or limitation of the progression of other colleagues who might demonstrate greater competence or expertise. Guessing we've all experienced this in school and at work, right? Let's explore approaches to dealing with this very real dynamic that flies in the face of what we are told is a meritocracy. Hi, I'm Jenny Clark, a conscious leadership expert who spent 2 decades in executive recruiting and talent management. Having worked with giants like Google, Spencer Stuart, I discovered that the secret to transformative leadership lies in the 5 dimensions of conscious leadership. And I'm here to help you unlock your full potential. Join me on this channel as we embark on an honest and vulnerable journey together to become the kind of leader that genuinely inspires organizational transformation. I have a few ways you can get involved in this conscious community. First, we created a free career map to help you uncover your next career move. Second, I've created exclusive content for you with a community of like-minded leaders. And lastly, I send out a free newsletter every week. To learn more, check out the description of this video. Favoritism. It tends to be ongoing and understood among the self-selected group of individuals. The practice is carefully, tacitly, and quietly exhibited and executed over time, creating effectively a closed club. Nepotism is pervasive and often blatant. The business owner hires her son into a role over more competent people. The employees with the longest tenure, legacy employees as they are known, especially in a fast-growing company, often join forces and look out for one another. The collective sentiment is that I survived the longest and I'm entitled to certain privileges even though I might no longer be the best person for the job or relevant to current priorities. I'll protect others like me in exchange for them protecting me. We will honor the original standard, however outdated. Now, I've witnessed and been embroiled in a few situations involving favoritism in my career. It can be blatant, meaning acknowledged and defiant, insidious as in denied or sneaky, or sometimes in something in between. When I worked in admissions for both my undergraduate school and graduate school, there was the special admit, the applicant who didn't meet the entrance qualifications but who had connections, like parents who were big donors or promised to be. The applicant's company might have put them forward in exchange for offering job opportunities to future graduates from the program. Shady? Yes. Unfair? Sure. These are age-old practices that permeate every system in our society, and it has many names. In politics and in government, a spoils system, also known as a patronage system, is a practice in which a political party, after winning an election, gives government jobs to its supporters and friends. Cronyism. And relatives, nepotism, as a reward for working toward victory and as an incentive to keep working for the new administration. We hope and want to believe that the workplace would be different, but alas, it is not. We fall into behaviors to surround ourselves with like-minded people and familiar people who make us feel safe and overlook our failings and who will protect our interests. What are the consequences of playing favorites? Demotivation and low morale. When employees perceive that promotions and opportunities are not based on merit, but rather on personal relationships, it can lead to feelings of demotivation and low morale. High-performing employees may become frustrated and choose to leave the organization in search of fairer opportunities elsewhere. This can lead to a loss of valuable talent and skills. Resentment and erosion of trust. Favoritism and nepotism can create resentment among employees who feel unfairly treated. Trust is a critical element of a healthy workplace. When employees perceive that the workplace is characterized by favoritism, trust in leadership and management can erode significantly, which can lead to conflicts and a toxic work environment. When promotions and decision-making are based on personal connections rather than qualifications, it can stifle innovation and the introduction of new ideas. Employees may feel discouraged from speaking up or proposing creative solutions. Inequality and discrimination. These practices can contribute to inequalities and discrimination in the workplace, undermining diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. Dealing with favoritism in the workplace can be challenging, as these practices can undermine a meritocracy and hinder organizational growth. Here are the strategies to address and mitigate favoritism. Periodically review and update HR policies and procedures to align with evolving best practices and legal requirements. Ensure that hiring, promotion, and performance evaluation processes are fair, transparent, and based on objective criteria like competencies. Consider implementing policies that address nepotism and favoritism. These policies can include guidelines on hiring relatives and conflict of interest disclosure, and can help mitigate the influence of personal relationships. Foster a culture that values a meritocracy, where individuals are recognized and rewarded based on their skills, qualifications, and contributions rather than personal connections. This is so important. Hold leaders and managers accountable for their decisions and ensure that they can justify their choices based on objective criteria. Demonstrate fairness and inclusivity in your own actions and decisions. Don't unwittingly mimic the same behavior you resent. Create new systems based on fairness and challenge those who don't. Harken back to written company values and standards that everyone is expected to honor. No one should be exempt. Here's what I want you to take away from this discussion. Addressing favoritism, nepotism, and cronyism requires a commitment to fairness and equity from top leadership down to every single employee. By creating a culture that values meritocracy and inclusivity, organizations can reduce the negative impact of these practices and create a more positive and productive work environment. That's simple. I know firsthand how taking that first step can be the catalyst for a life-changing transformation. I remember the moment I decided to harness my own strengths, and it made all the difference in my career. That's why I've created a career mapping tool just for you to help you uncover your unique competencies and leverage them to design your own career map. Take the first step towards your next level by clicking the link in the video description, and let's start this incredible journey together.